So here there are three drawings of Aparajita flower, and three different kinds of petals are here. So what I'll do is I will paint each of them in the way it gives the look of a realistic Aparajita flower. It's one of a very beautiful flower. Now this flower has got a lot of lines and veins in it, and it is very curvy petals. So in order to get that, there are two ways to do it. One is either we go complete wet on wet, and then we kind of we just make lines. But to get more realistic look, we will be using the technique of a little dry kind of an effective paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take colors which is more like a red, madder and blue and all. And the most important thing in this is the strokes, the way the colors are done, right? So I'm going to wipe my brush, take very little water just for the brush to move smoothly. And I'm going to take the color as much as possible, right? We're going to take the color as much as possible. Too much of color. And please note that I have not applied any water on the paper first. So the paper is also pretty dry. So make sure that your brush's tip has just enough water for the brush to move. Now in this, what is important is how we move the strokes and all. Okay, so I'm going to start with this flower. Now I'm going to start from here. Please make sure that you hold the brush where the metal part is so that it's easy for us to move around. So I will be coloring from here. And then I start turning over here. Now I'm going to place my brush here, hold for just a fraction of a second, and then turn it in this way. Again hold here and turn. Again hold here, turn. Press, hold, turn. Please remember, when the brush is dry, there is a lot of chances that the tip of the brush will split. So in order to avoid that, the moment you see that the brush has become way too dry, you immediately dip the tip of the brush in water and you will take color again in that. Now, if you notice, as I'm curving the brush with the curved strokes, it is automatically giving the lines and the difference of the light and dark effect. So this helps you while you are making the veins, and it also gives you the effect that the petal is turning. Now, since it's dry paint and dry brush, we have to take color again and again. Now I'm going to change the direction a bit from here. I'm going to get it from here. Now starting from the next side, over here I will make very small strokes. Now if you notice that when I'm making small strokes, my brush holding position is also slightly changed as I'm holding the brush a little bit in front. Now as I have more area where my colors are going to be painted, the hold of my brush also changes. The way I'm pressing and curving, the bristle also starts taking a little bit in different direction because now it's coming like this. So I just keep going in this direction. So what I'm trying to say is that the strokes, the direction plays a very important role in the way any object is to be painted or shaded, because that is what gives it the look that it deserves. Right? Now I'm going to change to, now I'm going to change the color. I'm going to work on this area. So over here, I'm going to first work with white. Okay, now for white, always remember you have to take excessive white, because white often doesn't show on the very first layer. Now with a thin brush, we're going to create the petal turning inside look. For that I go back to the same color. So I'm going to give this an effect that it is turning inside. And then just blend the edges with white. Okay. And just create a white line here to give the effect of the bulb. Now we are going to create the veins, and in this flower the veins have got beautiful effect. It looks like as if it is self-printed. Now when we wear those self-printed dresses and all, and with most of the veins you will see that it comes out from here, and then we have some certain lines like the leaf generally we find in leaves. Even while drawing the veins, we have to keep in mind the direction the way the flower petal is curving. Otherwise, with a different direction of the vein, the flower's direction will also change and it will not look what it is supposed to look like. So if you notice, what I'm trying to do is, like, wherever while coloring I have got the marks of the difference in the color, I am utilizing that place and making my veins. So that ways it is also helping me to get the right direction for the lines. And creating a little dark effect over here so that the bulb stands out. The center part of the flower of this particular petal stands out. Same thing will be done on this side too. But again, the strokes have to be kept in mind. There we go with the very first petal. Now we will be moving to this flower. The petal shape is more like a heart and completely round like a plate. So let's see how we're going to get the effect in this. So for this, I'm going to use blue to get the color differences and to make it more understandable and clear. So let's take blue here. Again, the color will be more compared to the water quantity. And I start from here. First, I give the colors towards inside. And differentiate the bulb over here, like a demarcation comes. And now I'm going to start from the outside, like how we did in the previous. Like the previous petal. You're basically showing that the petals are coming towards inside. Same thing goes here. make sure that you're holding the brush really free so that it turns the way we want it to turn, the way we want the strokes to come. Because if you hold the brush too tight, it becomes, you restrict your fingers, you restrict your movement of the brush and the wrist, which can spoil the look, also the intensity of the color. Right. Now, as we've got the shape of the petal, let's work with the thin lines in this now. And before that, let's create the effect of the bulb. So for that, I'm going to take lemon yellow. And lemon yellow is what is going to go here. And it will also add a little effect of green, because when lemon yellow, or basically any yellow, touches any blue, it gives us the secondary color of green, because yellow and blue being the primary color. Getting the effect which is more like a naturalistic look, you have to make sure that you have patience and you go slow and not be in a hurry, because that can again spoil the look. Now we need to have a little bit of blended effect here. So we're going to take the blue again. I hope it's understandable what is being done here. And now is the time when we will start with the wings. So for that, I will be using again a thin brush, and I will be taking a little bit of black and mix it with blue. And create the thin lines. In some places, you may not even have to create the line, because it would have just gone, a natural kind of a line would have got made while we were making the petal colors itself. Now we're going to color the bulb. So I'm going to again take white. And as I had said before also, whenever we are using white, the white has to be really in good quantity. Otherwise, it's often not visible. But in flowers and petals and any natural object, they are visible vividly. So we got to get that effect. It's almost like using dry paint over here. And now going back to our blending of white, yellow and blue. So I'm going to take lemon yellow for that purpose and create the depth over here. So I'm using a very thin brush, as you can see, and I'm coloring slowly to get that light green blue kind of an effect. And then take your blue again in the same brush and create the depth here. This is our second petal ready. Now we'll move to the third petal, which is this one. Now let me use the same colors as previous one, that is the madder. Kind of love that color. It's really vibrant and really interesting. Now this petal is slightly, I shouldn't say tricky, but it's got an effect of green and yellow and white and a lot of effects. So we are going to first start in the same way. That is from out. We're going to keep on curving towards inside first. So I will turn it as it becomes easier this way. If you notice, I've again started from a little bit up as I just wanted to change the direction of the stroke. Because it's a human tendency, when you're here, you will keep on going round and round. So I just wanted to give a little different stroke effect because that's how the petals, that's how this kind of petal of a Aparajita flower appears. And then, that's the beauty of any natural thing. It's just created so wonderfully that sometimes it's difficult to capture their beauty in the real sense.
Mom, I'm done with the birds now.
Now let's start with the other side. I'm gonna go a little thin over here. And now we're gonna go slight more curvy here. And then I'm gonna come on this part and go little slanty like an S. Now you have to notice that here I'm just going and getting inside over here. This is also helping me get the curve in the petal, the folds in the petal. And the part which is left here, I'm just gonna go very slow and small strokes. Of course, it has to be curvy. And then again, to create the effect of the fold, I'm just gonna go one more round on this part. Like another layer over here. Now I have to come to the top part of the petal. There are too many turns and twists in this particular flower, and that's what makes it so beautiful. And they're always hanging upside down. So once the drawing or the painting is complete, it's not standing upright like a sunflower or like a rose. That's one of the difference with it. Not like a Raat Ki Kali, but it stands upside down. Now that we've got this outside petal, now let's work in the inside. The inside of this particular petal is very interesting because it has a very nice smudgy kind of a look. So I start with white, obviously going again in the direction which is turning this side. And I take it till the top. I'm going to now again take the same color of the petal. But this time the quantity of the color is going to be slightly lesser than what it was before, to get that smudgy blending look. I take the color on top of white. I first start from inside and then I cover up the outside part. Then I take the color a little bit more. And this time I'm going to create a slight dark effect over here. Basically, the intensity of the color will increase to create a demarcation, as you can say, and to create the fold of the petals which is towards inside. And if you notice, I'm working with a thin brush. Okay, now I'm going to again bring the color, again make it slightly lighter and go in this direction and blend the white with it. to get that gradual gradation kind of a look. The variant look over here is very essential. Now just take very slight white dot kind of effect and blend this portion. As we want that smudgy, curvy effect. Because getting anything right and beautiful, you need to spend a little more time with it. I'm going to move to lemon yellow now. And I'm going to work on the outer part of the bulb, or the inside small petal that it gives the look of. And this gets extended to the stem actually. So I'm just extending it towards outside. I'm going to take the same madder, that is the same color of the petal, and create a nice demarcation over here. And then just take a little watery lemon yellow and blend it. Slight green over here. As it gets extended to the stem, as it moves towards the stem, we go slight green. I'm using Viridian green here. Thin line of green comes here. Same thing again, I'll take lemon yellow, work on this part. Take the madder, start blending on it. Just a hint of white in it. And extending the lemon yellow to here. Now we come to the veins in this, and the veins in this are very light in color as they are visible, even though it looks like self print, but still quite prominent. So we're going to use the madder. We're going to mix it a little bit with with white, and create that light effect over here. And as the flower turns, so does the veins, because they're a part of it, right? So it cannot turn in different direction. Let's always keep that in mind. The another very important thing to be kept in mind while we are painting these kind of flowers, don't go very watery, don't go very dry, especially when you're working with the veins. Because if we go very watery, then once it's dry, it's not visible at all. And if we go very dry, then it's just becomes so much prominent and vividly appearance happens that then the focus of the flower just goes in the veins, which steals away the beauty of the flower. Yeah, they're more like the leafy veins, it has got branches and roots and everything coming out of it. Here we are with our three beautiful Aparajita flowers. So they actually will be like this. Even this will be turned upside down. So I hope it was helpful, and if you have any doubts, please do let me know. I would be more than happy to clear it. Thank you.